2-drops and 1-drops, which, yeah, seems okay. He's also got a Batter Skull to help get him back some of that life along with a Jitte. He has 3 Liliana of the Veil, which is, that's one of my favorite Planeswalkers, and I'm pretty excited that it's made a splash in Legacy as well. This deck looks like you can just grind your opponent down. I think any time that you can go turn 1 Inquisition, turn 2 him, turn 3 Liliana is going to be pretty tough for your opponent to come back. Interesting that he's running 4 Grim Lavamancer in the main. I mean, I'm sure that's really good versus the creature decks. It's probably a nod to the Maverick decks that we're seeing, but it's probably performs less good versus some of the combo decks like you know, anything that's trying to make a Grizzlebrand. All right, we have presentation of decks here. We've got Cody on the left, and Lance, he didn't even have to move. He's still just sitting in the same spot with his Blue-White Miracles list. This is going to be interesting. I think that Cody's deck is quite a bit more proactive than Lance's. He's going to be actively trying to get into Lance's hand, disrupt, make him discard, kind of break him down. Where Lance is a lot more reactive. He's playing a lot, you know, more counter spells. In fact, he's playing counter spells at all that, you know, Cody's not. And Lance is taking a look at his opener here. And it looks like Cody's decided to mulligan this one. I'm not sure who's on the player on the draw here. I also see out of the Team Italia list, there's 4 Wasteland, which are going to do some pretty nice work against Lance. I mean, Lance does have some basics to get, but he's also playing things. He's got, let's see here, 4 Tundra, 2 Underground Sea, a Scrubland. He's got 3 Factories and a Caracas, so he does have non-basics that he can also kill. So the Wastelands are just another form of disruption that Cody's going to do, as he's going to take a look at his opening 6 here. I see a Jace the Mind Sculptor in Lance's opening hand, which is, if it's still there, I think we're going to see we're going to see a turn 1 Lavamancer, which is okay. I don't think it's great in this matchup, but it'll do some things.
He's got to have it in the main deck. I mean, he has it in the main deck. He's got to have it game 1.
Yeah, he's got 4 in the main.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is no joke. I was thinking that the Lavamancers probably are pretty bad versus decks that are trying to run like Grizzlebrand and that kind of thing, but good against creature-based stuff.
Yeah.
Lavamancers kill factories. They help whittle down Jaces. There's quite a bit going on here, actually.
So, another land for Cody here.
Looks like he's got all of his colors right off the bat.
That was a really bad idea. That was a really bad idea right now. You don't have a being a fish that actually made the challenge.
All right, attack for 1. And does he have a Bob or a him? Move that over. Cody's helping us on the cameras. And what does he have? He's got to have a turn 2. Oh, it's a Stoneforge Mystic. All right, so is this going to just get It is.
Yeah, there's Force of Will.
Force of Will is going to come in.
And he's going to remove Jace.
All right.
So I'm looking at
so Stoneforge gets in for 1 damage.
At Gerard's most recent article on Star City, and trying to compare it to Cody's list, and it is pretty similar. Like I don't have all the numbers here. There's an additional hero blade hold in Gerard's list. Gerard's updated list, that is.
Okay. Another attack from Cody. He's still content to just beat down here as opposed to start activating.
Yeah, why not? At this point, he's fine with that.
All right, is this going to be a Liliana? Is this going to be... Oh, another Stoneforge.
And...
It looks like a counterspell incoming?
May actually have just counterspell?
Just straight up. It
yeah,
is.
Straight up Ice Age counterspell.
Yep.
Looks to me like Cody's list was heavily influenced by Gerard's updated list. 3 Liliana, like most of the numbers look almost identical, or do look identical. I'm trying to figure out what the difference is, but it's close enough to to say that I think Cody got this
Terminus
list
off the top.
from Gerard. So Terminus off the top, not very impressive against the Grim Lavamancer. So I think Lance is just going to hold on to that.
Yeah, and even then he can't. He not only just drew it into his hand, but he also just didn't have a white source.
Okay, so it's,
Yeah, I think that was because Lance needed to, he wanted to play Counterspell, but he also realizes that his opponent's going to be on Wastelands, I think. And he's like, I don't want to go get a Tundra or whatever.
yeah, and just have
You
it
know.
wastelanded away.
Right, just get it Wastelanded. That's pretty depressing.
So according to Cody's deck list, his name is Cody, but according to Twitter, it's Chase.
No, it's Chase.
It's
Okay,
Chase,
so
but
he
he
go-
wrote Cody. Did he spell it wrong, or
His brother. They played the same deck.
we have Cody's list?
Yes.
Is that
It
just
doesn't matter. It's exactly the same.
okay?
Okay,
So,
so
but we
this-
should have on camera Chase.
All right,
then,
so
right? That
this
would be
person's
good.
name is Chase. It's just
Yeah,
that he's
okay.
got a
There
brother
we
named
go.
Cody who's in the event, and they ran the exact same 75.
Okay.
Well,
Hey, we have. So Cody is
Yeah.
his dad.
ooh,
But
check
now-
this
but
out.
Cody's his dad, but apparently Jared says it's his brother.
All right.
Either
Anyway,
way.
meanwhile, a Hero of Bladehold just landed. Boom.
That is.
So it was Stoneforge Mystic, counter it. Stoneforge Mystic, counter it.
Hero
Boom.
Bladehold.
Hero you. Now, so we're going to
Uh-oh.
need to see a Swords of Plowshares pretty quickly here, because that thing attacks for 7 just with
its own.
it and its friends. It's also going to add on another 2 with the Lavamancer if the Lavamancer wants to attack. He has gotten to untap with it, which is promising. Inquisition. All right, well, if there is a... all right, so we're going to crack a fetch. I know that there's a Brainstorm in Lance's hand, so he can hide some stuff or whatever, but the key here is, are we going to see a Swords?
Yeah, he may be able to brainstorm into a swords and also hide anything that he wants. Cast the swords on the hero, and
That would be
that would be ideal for Lance. I think
Very,
right now.
very happy times for Lance.
You know, he also could brainstorm into a Terminus.
True. So this first
And-
draw is important.
Yes.
So, he's got to be careful. Okay, there's an entreat.
So there's a brainstorm.
You should
1,
probably...
2, 3.
All right, so he didn't...
I saw Jace. I saw Land.
I saw it's a Jace, a Tundra, and a Force.
All right.
All
So
right,
he's
so
gonna hide.
That back. And put the Terminus back. So he is
So the
going to
Terminus is on
Terminus
top.
next turn.
So here's what I got. Force of Will, Jace the Mind Sculptor.
In other words, nothing.
Nothing that Inquisition cares about
Right, so-
or can hit.
Yeah. So it looks like right now that I think Lance is going to be taking 9. I think he's going to go to 5. And then Chase is going to get Terminus. So Chase needs to be aware here of the sweeper. And if he doesn't commit something else to the board, it'll serve him well. I think he only has 1 card left anyway, though.
Yeah, if I'm Lance, I know I'm going to Terminus next turn, and then I'm going to just go ahead and cast Jace and probably Brainstorm, or even go with maybe Fate Sealing. Now, I don't know how many
You mean
cards are...
Terminus land Jace?
Yes.
Okay.
That's Terminus land Jace.
Okay.
Stick Jace. Cast Jace. Resolve Jace. But I don't know. I guess if I'm Lance, maybe I Brainstorm with Jace first.
Those are
but-
attacking. There you go.
Okay, so this is going to be some beats.
Yeah, so it's 3, 5, 7, 9.
Gonna knock Lance to 5.
Yeah. Now this is where you know, like I think a lot of times the Lavamancer acts as reach, right? It can be that one last thing standing, but since it is a creature, it's going to get Terminus. All right, this is post-combat Liliana of the Veil. Okay, she doesn't care about Terminus.
No, she doesn't.
So
Interestingly, I don't think
he's
Jace
out of cards.
is all that. I mean, I don't think Lance is all that concerned either because of his plan with Jace. Like, okay, so you're gonna make me discard. He has 2 lands, a Force, and a Jace.
So he can force if he wants.
He can force if he wants, but he loses at Jace.
Otherwise,
the
he's just
thing
going to lose a random land.
Yeah,
He's going to still be able to Terminus. He's still going to be able to stick a Jace, and it's going to be Jace versus Liliana.
it is gonna be Jace versus Liliana.
And I'll take Jace, because even though Liliana knocks you down a card every turn, Jace ups you a card plus gets you that huge advantage of the Brainstorm effect
Right.
as well. So, yeah, this seems fine to me.
Yeah, I'm fine with that if I'm Lance. So untap Terminus. Obviously, he knew it was there,
Right.
and
So
We're gonna
those 2
go-
on the bottom, and then those 2 gone.
yeah, go away. And
he knows.
land, Jace,
All right.
probably Brainstorm. I mean, I guess the thing is, he just has one card in hand, and that is the Force of Will. So he's going to lose it.
Chase is out of cards. He could just plus it if he wanted.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I think I just Fate Seal. No.
I actually like brainstorming here because he does have the Force of Will, so that like even if Chase draws something super scary, he can just counter it.
Yeah, but the problem is,
he has to get a blue card.
He has to get a blue card, and then he's going to lose one to Liliana. Like Liliana's just going to tick up, and he's going to have to discard. So he's going to be left with Force of Will.
He'll only have 2 cards in his hand?
Yeah, because he's got to put 2 back here.
Oh, you're right. Oh, you're totally right.
So that's why I think going with the Fate Seal plan's better, because you look and see if you're even, if it's something you would normally force put it on the bottom. If not, leave it at the top.
Yeah,
and
so this is up to
you now have
Chase
hard cast
here.
Force of Will, and you have Jace on 5 counters.
All right, now we also know that there's a.
It's a land, so I would have just been Fate Seal, let you keep it.
So discard that, but doesn't Lance have Entreat on top of his deck now?
I don't know. That's
okay,
possible.
He can't.
He set it up. That was Entreat, and there it is. Okay, so that's fine too.
You
Obviously, that's very fine. But I still liked the, he only has 2 Entreats in the deck. His opponent has no cards in hand. I think I go with Fate Seal. I have Force of Will in my hand, which I can hard cast. I guess I lose that to Liliana next turn. So that's.
I mean, brainstorming got him 2 cards in hand. He's losing whatever was in his hand.
Yeah, I completely forgot.
And I think it was actually the Entreat, right?
I completely forgot. I'm sitting here thinking he's going to lose a card to Liliana if he brainstorms. He's also going to lose it if he Fate Seals. But I guess my plan was just lean on Jace. Doesn't matter, because he did find Entreat within the top 3, set it up on top, and Entreat.
And it had been there. Like, he hit it in his hand with that brainstorm.
Okay, that's right. He did have Entreat earlier.
All right. So it looks like Lance has taken a bit of a stranglehold on this particular game here.
So, Chase with Liliana on 5 counters, and she appears to be making Lance sacrifice a creature, and he says, okay, I'll sacrifice a Mistress Factory. Activate and sacrifice Mistress Factory.
Why is Liliana... Oh.
Yeah, he made Lance sack a creature.
He was hoping to take out an angel.
Yeah, I guess he may have also seen that Lance could use the Mistress Factory, but was like, all right, I guess if he can, he can. Saw a Terminus there.
Yeah, I think this game's over. Right? I mean, Chase can 1 for 1. Like, his deck is all 1 for 1s.
Yeah, he's going to go to. He's actually going to go to 4 here, and so.
Vindicate. Inquisition, Swords to Plowshares, Thoughtseize.
Is that it? He's leaving an angel back? No.
Yeah, get it.
Oh, he's attacking Liliana there. He's going to take out Liliana. That's cool.
Oh, okay.
So Chase is actually going to go to 8 here.
Which is
10 from 2 angels and a Mistress Factory, and then
which is still
Liliana takes out or gets taken out by an angel.
And I expect scoop phase imminent. All right.
Going to game 2.
All right.
Woo! That was that was the kind of way I like blue-white to play out, where it's like control, 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 and then, all right, win. I need to win at some point.
Jeez, that was much more proactive than what we saw last time.
Yeah, and I like that. I like the way he played that game. He wasn't worried about a combo that was going to win out of nowhere, and I think that was my whole point with, if he could have just dealt with the Allurn permanently by surgically extracting it, he can stop being worried about an Allurn and playing such a reactive game. So we actually going to give away some more.
Oh, more premium.
Some more premium. For those of you just joining us, I'm Joey Pasco here with Marshall Sutcliffe, and we're bringing you guys coverage live from Seattle of the top 8. In fact, the top 4 of the legacy portion of the StarCityGames.com Open Series. We just watched a cool game 1 between Lawrence
I really
Conrad.
like these decks.
I like these decks too. Lawrence Conrad.
I like this Team Italia deck.
Yeah, I mean, this is the brainchild of Gerard Fabiano.
I like it.
Very cool. It's also, people call it, Dead Guy Ale. I think is maybe the genesis.
I've heard those
genesis.
terms, but
So that's Cody. I'm sorry, Chase. We know it's Chase because it says Cody. Yeah. We have Cody stack list. Sorry about that, Cody. Sorry about that to both of the Lingelbachs.
Yeah, thankfully it's the same 75.
Yes.
So.
But anyway, yeah, so that's the Team Italia deck, and then Lance Conrad playing Blue-White Miracles, and we've got at least one more game to show you guys. But before that, we're going to give away some premium, 6 months. We're going to ask you guys a trivia question. You tweet the answer with the hashtag SCG Premium, and one random correct answer will win 6 months of premium. So, I talked about Star City's earlier tournament. We said Nathan Anderson won the standard portion.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Nathan. That was red-green aggro, I think was his his archetype. So there was also another Legacy tournament happening this weekend.
This was in Atlanta.
In Atlanta, where it was 135 degrees, I think.
I heard that there was faces melting off.
Faces actually melted.
Right.
What archetype was the deck that won the Grand Prix in Atlanta this weekend? Today.
That's the question.
So that's the question. So
where do they tweet it?
They all they need to do is type in the tweet their answer and SCG Premium hashtag. They don't actually
SCG
even have to write it at SCG Live. They don't have to include any other hashtags.
But they can.
Just that
they
can.
They can say it to us.
They can say it to us if they want.
But they got to have that hashtag.
They have to have that hashtag, because that's how we find the answers. Well, not us, but our directors will search for the SCG Premium hashtag and look at those answers. So as long as that's
What do they win?
I mean, you guys can go ahead and tweet at like Lady Gaga if you want, and include.
but put SCG.
But as long
Premium?
as you put in SCG Premium,
What do they win?
In fact, that would be awesome if everybody just tweeted at Lady Gaga the same thing.
Oh, poor Lady Gaga. She's probably trying to sleep.
She would be very
or something.
confused.
Yeah.
I mean, as if she doesn't get enough tweets at her already. So anyway, that's the question.
What do they win?
Oh, they win 6 months of premium.
6 months of premium.
Yeah, so that's all the way up to the end of the year. You get to actually, read all the articles post Return to Ravnica.
Yep.
Right, and that'll be exciting. We'll have an entirely new format, no Titans.
In that time frame, we'll have 2 entirely new formats.
Yeah, we have a new, new format
that's a very
coming
large.
up. 2 weeks from now, we have a new format, right? I mean, the release date, we have the pre-release of M13 next weekend, and the weekend after that, I believe, is the release.
And then
so
either tomorrow night or in 5 minutes, we're going to be getting all of M13 spoiled. I don't know if it's in 5 minutes or if it's tomorrow. But
5 minutes, says Choi, our director.
All right, so when that goes live, we're just done.
Yeah,
right? We're just going to be
off
reading
the
and
air.
thinking and
No.
posting on some.
If we suddenly go silent, you guys just, talk amongst yourselves.
Because that's how this works.
Yeah.
That's what being a commentator is all about.
Yeah. So, but yeah, the
Talk
so
amongst
M13
yourselves.
M13 is a legal set in 2 weeks, and so that'll be a whole new standard format, a whole bunch of new cards introduced into it, and then just in a few months we've got Return to Ravnica that's not only going to enter the format, but it's going to push out M12. It's going to push out Scar's Block. No swords.
Bye bye Titans.
No Titans. No mana leak, as far as we know, unless it's for some reason, shockingly reprinted in Return to Ravnica, although I really doubt that, as much as I would like it.
Still no lightning bolt, just saying.
Probably no lightning bolt, yeah. So, it's going to be a completely different format. No Phantasmal Image, as far as we know. We're gonna have some crazy things happening in the fall, but that's for then. This is for now, and Lance and Conrad are probably ready to go to Game 2. I hope so, because we've been talking for more than 3 minutes.
Yeah, I think I think it's funny how I think it's good how you describe this too. Is that we saw the control from Lance as the Team Italia deck was. It really does look to 1-for-1. Like the more I look, the more I see.
You actually described it as the one for as
yeah,
1-for-1.
and the more it does, but then what Lance's deck does is like say stop, boom.
Yeah, deal with all of this.
Yeah, and it either hits Jace the Mind Sculptor, which is just going to generate a huge amount of advantage, or it hits, like in this case, 4 or 3 Entreat the Angels tokens. So all of a sudden, boom, boom, you're dead.
Exactly.
Terminus was the key card in the last game that we saw. It was able to wipe away 2 soldier tokens, a Hero of Bladehold, and a Grim Lava.
It was just in time. Like he needed that.
White man.
Yes, he absolutely needed that Terminus there, or we were going to be in the middle of Game 2 with Chase up a game. So it's a completely different thing having that miracle there.
Absolutely.
And
yeah, and I mean, I think that, given that Chase's deck is a creature-based deck in its heart, I mean, all of these things get in the way or support creatures, these things being the spells. And the creatures, though, are going to be doing a lot of the work as far as actually killing his opponent. It seems like Terminus is going to do some work here.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, we saw it used pretty ideally, but you know, you'll see people just 1-for-1 with it.
Yeah,
They're
I
just
mean,
like,
when it's 1 white mana.
Yep.
So Lance is going to mulligan to 6 here, so that's a little bit of a disadvantage. He's
It
also on the draw,
Yes.
so he will recoup that card.
Now, sitting in Lance's seat, I think, you know, if you've ever played a control deck, you know what it's like to play against somebody who runs Inquisition of Kozilek. Now, he's only got 2 of them. Does he have any more surgical? That's not what we're looking for. Pyroblast, Red Elemental Blast, Engineered
Like targeted
Explosives?
discard, is that what you...
That's what I was looking for, yeah. But I think it's just him to Turok and Inquisition of Kozilek. But those are the cards that you definitely fear, you know, because they can take away your critical turn 1 plays before you even have any mana to do anything. And then him to Turok can just devastate your hand, you know, and get you to the point where you can't recover. Even a mulligan to 6, you know, you start to worry that if he goes Inquisition him, you know.
Yeah, you're out of the game.
It
you're
becomes
you feel
much
like you
more
are.
difficult to recover. Like
Yeah.
the brainstorms get worse. You have a lot less flexibility.
Now, you pointed to his sideboard a couple other cards he has. He has access to Pyroblast and Red Elemental Blast, 2 copies of each. Now, what's interesting here is what cards really won that game for Lance? Terminus
And Entreat.
and Entreat.
Both
Jace
white.
helped. Jace definitely helped.
Jace was definitely good. Lance is going to 5 here.
Okay, so that's even a little bit
So,
worse.
Yeah, well, we might have Chase kind of, you know, licking his chops here.
Yeah,
if
like,
he's
oh,
got
yeah,
one of those
yeah.
aggressive hand openers where he
Right.
can get in. I mean, I don't like in the game that we saw, he went turn 1 Grim Lavamancer. I think that's pretty far from ideal from what he wants to see on turn 1 against a deck like Lance's.
Yeah. So I think you can even. I mean, if I'm Chase, maybe I just go ahead and swap the Lavamancers for Pyroblast and Red Elemental Blast. The casting cost stays the same, you know, 1 red, and now you're probably a little more interactive with.
I mean,
with what
do you just
Lance
end up
is gonna
tacking
do.
on 1 mana onto all your spells? If you do
Well,
that?
just to have
You're
the
just gonna
backup.
feel like this
I
is
mean,
not
maybe
getting
you
countered.
do. Maybe you do. Because that's really the main thing that's going to fight. It's going to fight Jace and it's going to fight the counter spells, and that's it.
All right, and we're off to the. Oh,
Ooh, Chase has a turn 1 Sensei's Divining Top.
okay. He has 2 of them in the deck.
Yep. Lance
And
matches him.
The mirror.
So
It's
a
funny too
top
that it's
from Lance.
Do you think it's interesting that it's a planes from Chase? Like,
Are you trying to say plane chase?
I'm not
Is
trying
that-
to say plane chase. That I will leave those jokes to you.
Okay. I'll
So
just-
this looks like an upkeep top. What I'm saying is his deck is 3 colors and pretty greedy on colors.
Yeah.
That not being a dual land, I find that kind of interesting.
Yeah, I believe he has double Red Elemental Blast in his hand right now.
Okay.
So,
he's gonna
he
leave with a
did bring
bad
those
land.
in. Plains isn't so bad. And then he plays a Badlands as his second turn. So Flooded Strand from Lance. Lance did not activate his top just yet, or did not decide to use it to look at the top of his library.
He has the fetch land available, which is definitely desirable here. All right, so we see a Hero of Bladehold. Can't see the others. He leaves the hero on top. It's a little strange. I guess I don't really know why. Probably just can't cast any of that stuff. I don't think he needs to protect his hand from anything.
Oh, there's spinning of the top from Lance. So it sounds like we have Ian
Right here.
Ian Kendall with Merfolk into the finals. Advances
just been
2-0. Yeah.
Rocking today.
We have been seeing him we've seen him several times on camera, and we are about to see him again shortly. Lance just plays a land and passes back. Now Chase is going to spin his top.
I do see a Liliana of the Veil and yet again a Hero of Bladehold.
Yeah, there's Lily. I believe that's what he drew.
So does he stay patient here, try to hit another land drop like that,
So he can go land drop Lily and
and have Red
stick
Elemental
it.
Blast?
Yes.
I think he'd do
Actually,
that.
yeah.
Don't you just do that?
Yeah, I do that if I'm Chase. I go ahead and stick the Lily.
Yeah. All right. That's definitely one way to put that. 1, 2, 3.
Keep the Badlands untapped there. And there's Lily.
All right.
And Lance has the opportunity to
It looks like he has a counter spell just right there in the front.
Yeah, and it's
May-
almost as
maybe
if
a
he knows that there's the potential. He should know that there's a potential
Yeah.
for a red blast.
Now,
and
does
there's
it change his decision?
Right. Does he go ahead and say, all right, I will?
Or does he just let it resolve?
you to
Because it's
use
going to
it, so-
start eating away at his hand anyway. Now it's going to just get him even that much worse off here.
All right, so it looks like Counterspell has been blasted, and Liliana has resolved.
Plus,
Make you discard.
so I think a Vindicate's going to bite it for Chase here, and it does, and a second top for Lance. Now, it's a card in his hand, you know, so it's like it's getting closer to the good stuff, but the top itself wasn't that relevant. Now, Lance does have an engineered explosives. I think he drew a Caracas here.
Lance drew Caracas.
Is that land right there, Caracas? Do you see the one right in the front there?
Yeah, it looks like it.
I think it's a Caracas.
It's hard to tell. It's had a nice angle on
Yep.
it. There's an underground
That
sea.
one's an underground sea. So he can make 3 colors and he can play a engineered explosives here, right?
He can.
Black, blue, white, play engineered explosives, and that
Deal
can
with Lily next turn.
Next turn, but he's going to lose the last card in his hand to Liliana most likely if he decides to do that. Ooh. Yeah. It's exciting.
Yes. And there's the explosives that you mentioned.
All right, so it's
1,
on
2, 3.
Yep.
So, yeah, Chase knows Lily is not long for this world unless he has some way to deal with the explosives. And I don't think having, he doesn't have really any access to anything that destroys the explosives.
He had a Vindicate.
Besides,
but
yeah, he has
pitched
Vindicate.
that, yeah.
Okay. I was
Even
looking-
then, I think he's okay with it. Like, he's going to have Lance down to 0 cards in hand.
Yeah.
You
He's
know.
fine with what Lily has done.
Yeah, and Lance has to use up 2 of his mana again next turn. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I had a Vindicate, I might just Vindicate the top.
Yeah.
You know?
But he just will flip it on top.
Oh, yeah, duh. All right, he has his own explosives. Explosives for
does.
0. He can pop it, and it will kill the explosives on the table.
That is,
That's interesting.
yeah.
Oh, he's going to play something first.
No,
I
he's
mean, you gotta
popping-
pay,
he's
pay,
popping
pay,
the
right.
explosives, yeah.
Popping the explosives, so now he just saved Liliana. But he's got to be very careful here because he is going to have to discard one of his cards, and it looks like he likes both of them.
Looks
I
like
see a hero.
and something else, and
Yeah.
maybe the other Red Blast, I believe, because I think he had access
Oh,
to
I
2
think you're
before,
right.
so it's
Yeah.
still the other
I
Red
see a
Blast.
Stoneforge, and another hero. Yep, that's fine then.
Yeah, he's
you can
got
feel
plenty.
a lot better knowing that he has that level of gas coming up here.
Liliana on 5 makes both
Right.
players
Pitch a
discard,
Caracas.
and that is Caracas, yeah.
And I think he pitched a hero.
Yeah.
He's going to draw one next. Not draw one. I think he's just going to draw the Stoneforge because he can't actually cast the hero. Doesn't
Yeah,
have
he
double
only has
white.
1 white, yeah.
Mhm.
All right, so Liliana, there's a Mistress Factory.
All right, well, that's going
Off
to
the
at
top for
least
Lance.
threaten Liliana. Although we know it's not going to be for long. He gets to see the same 3 here. I guess he's still just going to take a Stoneforge. Draw.
There it is,
Play a
Stoneforge Mystic.
Stoneforge.
Yeah, white, black, yep.
Now he's got a Jitte, a sort of body and mind. Yes, you heard
Very
that right.
interesting.
And a Batter Skull.
Lance is going to go ahead and top.
Although he has no cards in hand, so this is just getting it out of the way, or
Yeah, maybe he's.
oh, he
He can
could
find an answer
flip
and
the
flip the top.
Okay.
Yeah, if there's some sort of answer on the
Yeah.
top.
I
but-
think that Chase would actually just encourage that as well, because then he gets to use up his Red Blast, and then he gets to plus Liliana. Although, no, I guess if he does that, then he'd have to plus the equipment that he gets away, which is kind of
yeah,
inefficient.
not going to work very
Kind of
well.
inefficient.
I played a Stoneforge Mystic, and that's all, it was a 1/2.
Mhm.
That's it.
Squire.
Yeah.
Liliana, though, is going to be threatening ultimate, which in this case means, like, currently Lance would lose, like,
The
half
game.
of his land. Well, I mean,
It's getting there.
it's not, I mean, He's falling way behind anyway. I'm just saying,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know, he would
I'm
lose
just
like
kidding.
3 lands or something, which is just set him back even further.
Yeah, he's pretty far behind. He has nothing in hand. He's facing a Liliana who's about to go ultimate in 2 turns. And Stoneforge Mystic just fetched up a Batterskull.
Oh,
Lance has
you know what?
nothing he can do about it.
I don't think he's actually going to plus Liliana here then. Or did he already do it this turn? I don't think he did, but he might have. All right, didn't he just top? All right, still the same thing. I guess it doesn't really cost him to check. Terminus. So he's going to be able to get in at Liliana here for 2. Because he's going to get the Stoneforge out of the way. Which is a little weird because I think that Chase has like another Stoneforge and like a Hero of Bladehold coming
on the
up.
top, yeah.
Which means that
Terminus would have been nicer to have.
well, I was actually going to say that means that the unless he can find a land, which he just did find 2 of, the Batterskull gets kind of stuck. So it looks like he's. I mean, I think he's just going to take the plateau here, probably. Like, do you want to shuffle away that Hero? I don't think so.
No, I mean he needs the land for the Batterskull. As you
That's what I
mentioned,
think
losing the Stoneforge means he has to hardcast Batterskull unless he just plays the other Stoneforge that we know is there. So he just draws the Stoneforge. So he can go ahead and go that way. Go ahead and play the
What's wrong with just hard casting the Batterskull?
Not too much, I don't think.
I guess like Jace the Mind Sculptor can come down and you'd feel kind of silly.
I guess then Jace has to bounce the germ, and then you just have to, yeah, you just probably. And also, you know, here he's going to go ahead and search for another equipment. He's going to get Body in Mind, it looks like. Sword of Body in Mind.
Wow. It's an interesting choice.
It is.
I don't know what the reasoning behind it is offhand.
I mean, pro blue, yeah, Jace can't bounce it, and, you know, you get another guy, like another wolf when it connects. I mean, it still can be chump blocked by a Mistress Factory, whatever it is you happen to equip. I mean, milling Lance out, milling away his miracles could be pretty relevant. That could be really relevant. I mean,
Milling Miracles?
yes, we know that Lance only has 2 copies of Entreat the Angels, and Chase should know that as well. So if you happen to hit both, I mean, you know that his win conditions are severely limited. I'd be very impressed if Lance were to come back and win this game here, because at this point, you know, Terminus for a Stoneforge Mystic was about the most impressive thing I've seen Chase able to do in the last couple of turns.
You mean Lance, yeah.
I'm sorry, Lance, yeah.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. There's always that threat looming, although in this case it's actually not, of the Entreat, the big Entreat, but he doesn't even have double white here, does he?
No, he doesn't, unless it's off camera.
Which, we've had that happen today.
Yes,
so.
we have.
Pay 2. Play Engineer Explosives for 2. Okay, there's nothing off camera, we've confirmed.
Okay, that's good.
So he's just looking to kill the Stoneforge here?
Looks that way. I mean,
He really wants to get Liliana? I mean, I can see why, but...
I mean, I guess this is a way to effectively deal with both. You know, he gets the Stoneforge out of the way, and he can now... Oh, he's got something going on here. Oh, flips the top.
He needed a land.
To get a land, plays it, activates Mistress Factory, attacks Liliana down to 1.
1, yeah.
Yeah. So it doesn't actually totally deal with Liliana, but if he can... Okay, so he's
going to
in the top.
But he's also tapped his other mana?
Yeah, that's kind of odd. He's actually got a floating one.
Yeah, I don't think he meant to do that.
I don't think it's too relevant here, but you know.
No.
Maybe he can just activate top
But
twice.
if he didn't say what color it was, like, you know, it doesn't matter. Like, Lance doesn't have anything in his hand, and he's in that kind of miserable spot where he's going to be drawing a top. You know?
Yeah.
Now, he gets to keep topping, like, it's fine.
Yeah,
it's just
but
he knows
still
what his next draw is, so.
Yeah, if Chase can't add a creature to the board, Lance is able to swing in and kill Lily. We know... Oh, jeez, Mr. You know, Mono Stoneforges.
And he's going to get a Jitte, which he can actually just cast, right?
Yeah, can't equip, but can cast.
And he knows that the best thing that can happen, I mean, the only thing that's happening to Lance is that
He's
that
gonna
top,
draw a
and
top.
that can't generate.
Now he can flip the top
Yes.
again, which he did last turn.
But he can't do it now. If you wanna stick the.
Oh yeah, at this point you can go ahead and stick the Jitte.
I don't think he has another land though. He's been a little bit.
It should
tight
be
with the
coming up though.
land,
He has
yeah.
he had that plateau. So all right, Lance
It's funny.
gonna arrange
Liliana's
things.
kind of negated here in some ways as well.
Replay top, spin top. Take a look. Take a look. Take a look. What do I got coming?
I think I would have played Jitte myself.
I think so too. I think you have certain windows that you need to take advantage of.
Jace, like, what are you playing around? Him like seeing a Jace flipping top, trying to play Jace. I guess that's something, right? I mean, if you just
I guess
run
if
the
you wanna
Jitte
play
out
it-
and then get Jaced on the other side, it's kind of a.
Yeah, you can play around Jace there. That's fine, I guess. It is funny, like, as much as I feel like Lance is far behind, Chase isn't really putting him under any pressure. Like, Lance has been able to consistently do something to keep Chase from doing very much. You know, Chase is basically just searching his library for a million equipment. That's as much as Chase is really doing, which he needs to stick those equipment for it to matter.
There's a Wasteland.
And another Lily. And
Wasteland seems pretty decent.
Is
here.
it a
It's
hero?
a hero, yeah. Wasteland can take
take the Mistress Factory out.
the factory, or it can take his second blue source and his only black source away.
What do you mean a
black-
second blue? Because he's got 3 blue sources right there.
Oh, sorry, I missed those. Yeah, right. Just take out the factory.
Yeah.
Make a mana to do a little topping here. It looks like
Yeah, probably.
working on it. So he's got to decide if he wants to use a Stoneforge to get that equipment in, or which means it can't be countered. Although there is a top. Yeah. What do you think happened there? Did he say, I'm going to go to combat, like make him use up the mana?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's exactly what
But I
happened.
mean, don't you want to get in? I guess he's just going to wait yet another turn. Because he can cast an equip and attack, right?
Oh, you're talking about for him to cast and equip. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
but
think
he
he wants to
didn't. He
play the
just
Batter
passed the
Skull.
turn.
He wants to play the Batter Skull.
Okay, so
That's
he's
why.
just going to be patient. He's sitting
Yeah,
on 2
he
red
moved to
elemental
combat
blast.
to make Lance use the mana, and then just I think pass the turn so he can
I
play the
see.
Batter Skull.
I was
Lance,
thinking he might
yeah.
want to try to game with the Jitte now, but I see what you're saying.
It's
It
not
makes a lot more
even as
sense.
big an advantage of having a Batter Skull in play. So he passes to Lance. Lance draws and passes back, and Batter Skull is viled in or forged in by the Stoneforge Mystic.
Indeed.
And this is still the end of Lance's turn, I believe, in response to the.
All right, so he's going to play a Brainstorm, and a red elemental blast is going to nab it. He's like, nope, we're not doing that.
Okay, so that was the end of Lance's turn,
Yep.
and I think
There's still tops that can happen here, but
looks like he's gonna flip the top here.
is that right?
He must know that he wants that top card, whatever it is. And
Is it a miracle of some sort? What is going on?
it wouldn't be the first card he drew that turn
Oh,
because
because
it's
this
his
is still
turn.
the end of his
Yeah.
turn.
So, but he's got something here.
He's got
Disenchant for the Batter Skull.
Batter Skull. That's a white spell.
And he already used his second red blast, so he only have Pyroblast anyway. Not to say he'd have to have drawn a Pyroblast, and that had to be a blue spell for that to matter. But yeah,
Right.
that was nice, nice play by Lance. I feel like. I mean, obviously he would have liked to brainstorm into it,
All
but
right,
having the top there.
Vindicate.
Yeah, so
Ooh,
Chase is
careful.
now topping. This is still, I believe, the end of Lance's turn. But
It is,
Batter
it
Skull
is.
has gone the way of the
Vindicate, a
graveyard.
second Liliana, and a hero. So more gas on the way here. Not sure which one he wants. Liliana's just been sitting there on 1 forever because it would just make him discard. Although ticking her up does have its advantages, and he doesn't want to lose a card to her, so he's decided not to.
Yeah, Lily's been on 1 for a while.
Yeah, a long time.
Because Chase doesn't want to lose the cards in his hand either. Jitte, that we knew he had.
Equip.
Yes.
Attack. All right, enough fooling around.
Yeah. Does
He's
one,
bashing.
but now has 2 counters on it.
This thing can get very, very large. What is he pointing at his top for?
I'm not quite sure.
Still not a 5th land. He's kind of made sure he hasn't drawn
He
the lands.
saw it. He
Yes,
saw the
I think
plateau. He keeps topping it down.
Topped it down or something.
Must really want whatever else he has instead. So
Top for
oh,
Jace
wow.
and
That's
play it.
Bounce your Stoneforge.
Wow.
So that's why he wanted the Brainstorm so badly. And it's interesting that Chase decided to counter the Brainstorm with a Red Blast that he could have used right here for the Jace, obviously leaving the mana open.
Yep.
But not that I fault Chase for doing that. I understand it looked like, all right, Lance wants to resolve Brainstorm. I'm going to stop him.
He has the Liliana lined up next, which isn't, I don't think, what he wanted to play at all.
Yeah.
Vindicate Jace.
Okay, so that resolves.
Counters still on Jite, and I think he's just going to pass a turn back with top mana up.
Yeah, what do we know? We know he's got Lily, Stoneforge, and what's the other card?
Oh, yeah, he doesn't mind doing that one. He has a Sword of Body in mind.
Oh, that's right. That it's still been sitting there in his hand.
Yes.
I thought we knew it. So Lily pluses, and Chase discards his second Liliana. Lance now draws the top yet again. Is going to go ahead and
That top
pay
is
one
doing
to,
so much work for Lance this game.
it's keeping him in the game.
It's the only reason he's still here.
Yeah. So he goes ahead, spins it, and then passes the turn.
All
now
right, so
Chase
we
is
see a
going to spin his
Bayou, a
top.
Plateau, and a Hero.
So we know he can go ahead and
I mean, he's going to
get
have to just take that. Why don't you just take that Plateau? Because that way you can play the Hero at some point, although that's not the plan that's going on right now. I think he took the Bayou.
That's interesting. I don't even know why he would take the Bayou. If you're going to take a land.
Or not a Bayou,
no,
it's a
that's
scrub
the
land.
yeah. So he actually now has the second white source.
Good, good, good. All right,
Okay.
I just missed.
Yeah, I was
so-
wondering actually when you said Bayou, I didn't even. It didn't
Yeah, that
occur
didn't
to me.
make
Yeah,
any
that
sense
doesn't.
at
He doesn't
all.
play green in
Yeah.
this deck.
Now he spins his top to get the Hero, and he's just going to cast it right now.
And Hero appears to be resolving here, unless Lance has something fancy on the top.
Now,
Like he could have a counter spell on top. Okay, it
so he
resolved.
decided not to use Liliana this time. He wants to keep that Stoneforge. I was wondering if he would just plus Liliana and pitch the Stoneforge. He's already got Jite down. His Batterskull's gone.
Swords to Plowshares off the top for Lance to deal with that Hero of Bladehold. I believe this is during his
Jeez.
turn. So there goes that Hero.
Can you sense the tension? Like Chase is like,
Chase,
I have been
I think that
ahead
was a lot
this-
of frustration.
Yes,
yeah.
he's just like, I have been
Really?
ahead this entire match. Like you know.
How are you
but
still in this
Lance
game?
is just hung on at every single step.
I mean, just the way he moved that Hero into the exile zone, it's just like, come on.
Yeah, I got that same vibe. All right,
Yeah.
does he have anything else? I don't think he has anything else to search, right? Jite, Sword of Body in Mind, Batterskull. He's going to look just because there's no harm in looking, and he gets a shuffle out of it.
Yeah, why not? Take a look. What do I
He
have
gets a
coming up?
shuffle
What
away
else?
that Plateau.
Yeah, kind of look at your deck and go, okay, remind yourself, what kind of plan could I be having here to an opponent who seems to find every answer he needs on the top 3 cards of his library.
Sword of Body in Mind.
All right, so there's a sword. So Stoneforge finds nothing. It's a 1/2. That's it. Sword of Body in Mind just goes ahead and he hardcasts that. Lance spins his top, takes a look again.
I still think Chase is in the driver's seat here. It's just he just cannot quite get over that hump.
Yeah, I mean, he's lucky he had the Vindicate for the Jace, though, because I think that would have put Lance right in the driver's seat. And an Engineered Explosives.
All right, so this
for
is going to be
Lance.
on 2.
It's going
If
to get
it's on 2, then he can take out the Stoneforge and the Jite. If it's on 3, he can take out Liliana and the sword.
Yeah, so
it's on
it
2.
looks like, yeah.
And so he is going to gain some life, I guess, from the Jite. Is that
Yeah, there's
the only
nothing
thing
and
you
no
can do
other
at
reason.
that time? Yeah, that dice is just sitting there. It's not actually doing anything.
Just floating there, so.
Confirmed he gained some life. And there is a land. And somehow, is Chris out of gas here?
It's getting there. There's a
Sensei's
top that we
Divining
know he
Top.
had for a while.
Spin
Go ahead
it.
and spin it.
Land.
Dark Confidant.
Now,
Now that's going to keep
Confidant
him.
can change things. Are you
keep him
gonna? If
fueled.
you're him, do you put Confidant on top, spin the top, and slam Confidant?
I think so.
You
Yeah,
do,
and that's
right? Because
exactly
that way
what Chase is
you're
doing.
drawing the top next turn. You're only taking 1. You're at 27 life.
Right, and now you can plus Liliana. Look, you know,
Equip.
you can equip too, yeah, and plus Liliana. You know,
Wow.
for just for the counter doesn't make either
value.
player has no
Okay,
cards in hand.
that was a big swing for Chase.
Yeah, now Lance needs to find an answer to the Dark Confidant, which, you know, he could just find Snapcaster, he could find Swords to Plowshares.
And Chase is finally out of cards, so he can just start plussing Liliana, playing the spell. Although now he's going to be getting to a turn, so that's not going to work anymore.
1, 2, 3 from the brainstorm. There's a path to exile. Finds an answer yet again. And
is that a Jace underneath it?
There's a Jason involved in there
now
too.
Jace cannot bounce.
No, cannot bounce. So right now he just goes ahead and keeps the path, takes care of the Dark Confidant before it provides any advantage for Chase.
He just finds an answer every time. This guy's crazy.
I mean, his deck is full of like answers, really.
Right,
That's
so
what
now,
his deck
now
is.
Look, this is a tough position.
Chase.
Why is he shuffling now? He hasn't got his land yet.
What did he fetch?
Well, no. So he got. He got plow. He goes a path, right?
Yeah, Yeah,
Wasn't it a path to exile?
It was a path to exile. So he
has not gotten a basic land.
How many basics are left? He has plains, swamp. That's it.
So he just used it as a shuffle effect, but he had a top on top.
Yeah,
I think
that's what the shatter pause was there, where he went, oh crap.
Okay, so he shatter pauses, but don't you just? Oh, you're saying he regretted it at all?
Yeah, he didn't even.
I thought you meant that he realized he wasn't going to find a basic. Which is
or
that's
maybe that
half
was
of the problem.
Pause,
but the other problem is that he had a top. Don't you just want a top?
I want the top, but I think that was a mistake. I think he did it by accident and realized it immediately as he started to shuffle. But it was like too late to.
I like how you say I think that was a mistake, and right on cue, Jace the Mind Sculptor comes down into like essentially an empty board here. And starts brainstorming. I mean, Lance is now in control.
Yeah, like I said, his deck is full of answers and a couple of win conditions. So him finding an answer is not the craziest thing in the world. He's basically like, my win conditions are Jace and Entreat the Angels, and Jace kind of doubles as an answer or something to find answers too. So he's just going to keep trying to find answers and stay in the game until he can take control, and that's.
Yeah, man, I really think that you just when you're top decking there, you just really want that.
I think so too, and I think Chase would agree. I think it was
just a mistake. He just instinctively said, "I get my land," and then he's like, "Oh crap, I don't want to shuffle away this top." And then on top of it, he's like, "Wait, I don't even have any more lands to get."
That's my guess.
The thing is that he had the top face up.
Yeah, I don't. That's a good point. It's like that's
maybe it was just all autopilot. That does happen sometimes. All right, so he pluses Liliana. Liliana's still safe.
And she's getting pretty scary.
Yes, she is. She's one away from getting to that. He's reading path? Seeing if it's a
path
May
doesn't
ability?
Force a shuffle, does it?
It does not. It is a May ability for sure. You can search and fail to find. You cannot search.
All right, so Jace is brainstorming away here for Lance.
You can see his grip just getting huge. There's another plow, which he's hiding.
Hide right here. Yeah, he knows he's going to lose a card to Lily.
He's just going to keep plow up. And he exposes it. Emphatic top deck here. Is this going to be an Inquisition? Oh, he's going to kill Jace with a Pyroblast,
The funny thing is, okay, Jace dies.
Yeah. That's a big game.
Well, it seems that way. He's going to plus Lily. Lance is going to discard that plow, which I think he probably should not have had in his hand, because what is he worried about that he needs to have that plow right there? Because it plows right through a sword. He can play a creature, equip it. There's no reason he needs that plow.
Like worst case scenario is Dark Confidant, and he doesn't care.
Right. He can plow it on his turn. It's fine when he draws it. He also has top that can access that plow if he really needs it that badly. So I don't know why he kept the plow in his hand. He could have had kept the land, I believe, that was on top. But either way.
Well, Entreat the Angels is going to come down. And how many? So can he do that? I guess there's a trigger.
Yeah, it's like.
Is it? Is this on the end of?
This may be on Chase's end step because, well.
It was off of a divining top.
Yeah, and it was. I believe, at the end of Chase's turn.
1, 2, 3, 4 angels.
So if this is at the end of Chase's turn, Lance can also just stick the second Jace here on his turn. All right, untap. I'm going to hit you for 16 and also play the Mind Sculptor.
For the top. Okay, so it is 3 angels.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay. You counted 4. I assumed
there's 4 mana enough.
Okay, that's what it was.
I think he had to use one of his mana to top.
So there are 3. He's gonna Oh, that's
He's
right.
gonna
Lily's
send
there.
two, yep.
Lily's about to go ultimate. Lily goes down. Okay, so he kills Lily entirely.
Man,
gets
Lance
in
has
for 4.
completely taken control of this game. He has Jace back up too.
Yeah, he had that other Jace. I knew he had the other
Yeah.
Jace.
Yep, he had it in his hand when he discarded
I think he
the
was
plow.
I think his plan was maybe I hold plow, discard Jace. But when
Yep.
Jace died to the
But I
to
agree
the-
with you.
the
I don't
red
like
blast.
either of those plans. I like just putting the land in my hand, pitching that, and having access to plow if you really need it, but you don't. Disenchant goes on top, and he keeps a brainstorm. Not that he didn't just brainstorm.
Yeah, the odd thing here is that okay, so let me see. Like I'm thinking, should Chase have activated Liliana before he red blasted Jace? You know, like in case, because what that would have done is, all right, Lance has to decide. All right, he goes, okay, I'll discard my extra Jace.
Yep.
And hold the plow, and then
Yeah.
you're like,
Oh, you're definitely right.
I'll blast Jace, and now there's no Jace back up.
That's a
right?
pretty tough
I don't
thing to
know.
think of on
It
the
i-
fly,
it
but
is.
you are totally right.
I don't know if that would have been that much better.
Well,
He
if he
doesn't-
would have discarded
the-
Jace, it would have been extremely
Right.
Then
But
again,
I
he
mean,
still would have been facing down 12 power of angels.
yeah, it doesn't actually deal with the angels.
Although the result isn't really the important part, right? It's just making the correct play in the moment.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think if, what the line of thought would have been, if, what I've been thinking, which one do I want to do first and why?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying he did it wrong. I'm just actually trying to just
Yeah.
think about it both ways. So Lance now. Oh, nice.
And Chase
Lance-
taps all of his mana for a scrub land.
Yeah, like, so
Instant
you're
speed
attacking me?
scrubland.
Instant speed scrubland, yeah. It looked like some sort of strange instant speed ultimatum was about to happen. I'm like,
It
what does
did.
Chase have? What?
Wow.
So Lance, Conrad
So
with blue-white
Lance just
miracles.
grind. Like there was probably 5 or 6 times during the course of that match. Hi again.
Hey guys, I'm Joey Pasco,
I'm Marshall Sutcliffe.
and we're coming to you live from Seattle for the StarCityGames.com Open Series.
That was the semis. That was the last game of the
That
semis.
was the last game of the semis. We're going to the finals.
Yeah, you could have asked me at like 5 points during the course of that game, just that game, and I would have said, and you said who's going to win, and I would have said Chase, pretty
I-
convincingly.
Did I not say I'm going to be really impressed?
You did.
If Lance comes back.
Color
from this
you
game.
impressed.
I'm impressed.
That was impressive. I honestly, I'm trying to figure out like how many things either had to go wrong on Chase's end, like where he played the threats that the answers were there, or that how many things had to go right for Lance to just hit the right answer over and over and over. Now, I mean, what was the card of this game? Sensei's Divining Top.
Yeah,
My
Divining Top
goodness.
kept him in that game
It
so much.
found everything. It hit the first Jace. It just really
Now,
wrecked.
to be fair, both players started the game
Mm-hmm.
with a turn 1 Divining Top, so both players had that same advantage there. You know what I
Maybe
mean?
Lance
Digging.
used it to his advantage more.
Yeah,
You know,
maybe,
I don't know. Like, it's hard for me to tell because it happened so many times, but maybe
Right.
Lance just managed that resource better.
Well, if you start saying, okay, so one deck, they both start with tops.
Yes.
One guy's playing threats, the other one's playing answers. So it's just 1 for 1. We're even.
I'll take the threat guy.
Right. But the problem here is if you're just going 1 for 1, that makes sense because
Yeah.
at some point maybe he doesn't find the answer. But if you're saying things are even, starting on turn 1 with the top, both with the top, and they're both just finding threats back and forth,
Yeah.
back and forth. So it's very even. What broke parity was Jace the Mind Sculptor and Entreat the Angels.
the
Right.
bigger
They're
things.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So it was like, yeah, you have equipment. That doesn't work if you have no guys.
Right.
You know, and so it's like Chase spent all that time going Stoneforge Mystic, find